What's up, guys? This week's video, we're going to do something we don't often do. We're going to do an unboxing and setup of some new stuff. So stay with us. All right, so as of the recording and viewing of this video, we're a couple of weeks away, but a while back it was Prime Day on Amazon. And so that means anything that we've had in our cart that we really wanted, but we put it in there, we save it. And some of those things I was able to flutter my eyes and flex my muscles, and Andrea bought for me. So you know, when it comes to moto camping, that's something I have never done, really, at least on the XR. Now, I've gone camping in termite, in the rooftop tent, and had the bike there and rode, and that's kind of my base camp plan, that anytime that I'm riding, if I go to somewhere to ride, Arkansas, Tennessee, wherever, is to have termite and the rooftop tent as kind of my base camp, leave out of there every day, ride where I want to ride, and come back to there. Have a mattress, have all the luxuries and convenience of a rooftop tent. That's my plan with that. But every now and then, like what's coming my plan in October, I'm going to be doing a loop, the Smoky Mountain 500, and I won't be coming back to the base camp every day, and Andrew won't be with me to meet me at a campground. So I'll be camping along the way. So I needed a way to be able to carry my tent on the bike. And so I've had this tent in my cart for a while now. Started looking at beginning with hiking tents, backpacking tents. That's kind of the go-to thing, because that's generally going to be small, compact, lightweight, everything you need to be able to carry on a bike. There's tents that range anywhere from, that I saw, from $30 all the way to $500, $600, $700. Now, if you follow this channel for a while, I'm not paying that for a tent this size. I'm just not. And I'm not knocking anybody that does. I could see how, if you had the money to do it and you needed that, that's fine. But that's not far away from what we paid for our rooftop tent. And so I just couldn't justify that. So I didn't want to go with the cheapest, but I certainly was not, I didn't want to spend more than $100 on something that, for what I'm going to use it for. So I ended up going with the Nightcat. All right. Now, there's different levels of the Nightcat. There's some that you can hang like a hammock between two trees. That, basically is like a glorified hammock with a roof on it, that I almost went with. But I'm not a big hammock sleeping guy. I'm a light sleeper, and hammocks just are not, I've never had much luck with sleeping in a hammock. So kind of strayed away from that and wanted to kind of stay on the ground. And so we got this one. This is the Nightcat backpacking, lightweight, outdoor. I don't know. I'll give you all the information in the link below. But I don't know what to do with my knife right here. So I think this thing weighed, if I remember right, I'll have to look on the description again and see. I think they say it weighs 4.2 pounds, which is not too bad. The backpacking one, the hammock one, was like 2 pounds. So it was a good bit lighter, but again, I don't know. That wasn't really for me. So there we go. So just to start with, it doesn't feel that heavy. My plan is to carry it probably about right there on the bike. I do have bigger bags over there against the wall that in a future video I will show you when I get it all arranged, my whole setup for moto camping. But for right now, we're just doing kind of these reviews. So the Nightcat, this thing comes in total package length. I'm looking about, you could say 16 and a half, 17 inches. It's kind of hard because it does give. but I would think at full compression, geez, you could say it's within 16 inches there. So, you know, not too bad. Now, we're going to set this thing up. I was going to set it up outside, but we just got a monsoon this morning, and the ground is wet and muddy, and I don't really want to set it up out in the wet grass and then have to pack it back up. So we're going to set it up in here in the shop, and I'll show you why I went with this one when I start setting it up. Trying to get in here to the poles. Our instructions. There's stakes. Here's poles. So this is really what when you're talking about a tent, because the tent itself, I mean, you can fold it, do whatever. This is really the thing that you're looking at as to how small it is. So poles, end to end, 14.5 inches. I can't remember if that's what it advertised. Wait, let's see, it has it here. It says 16.5 by 4.7 by 4.7. All right. This is the ZP30. So 16.5 is actually pretty generous, but that's, if you remember the padding, when it's packed up into there, that's about, we said between 16 and 17, I think. So, yeah. And they advertise it on here, 4.4 pounds is what they advertise. So it's not that bad. And you could probably ditch the stakes if you had to. So, all right. First impressions, feels like a tent. So, all right. I'm gonna we'll set this up in a second. I'll show you what else I got. So, I got a new tire, as I think I showed y'all in a few videos back. Now, you know, if you go on a long trip, there's a chance you may pop a tube or something like that. May have to change a tire on the trail. I've got tire tools here in the shop, but they're huge. The big old tire bars and stuff that I always use here. But I didn't have anything to go with me that I could pack in case I got to change something on the trail. So I bought these tire tools. These are Dr.Roc Tire Spoons. But they measure out 18 inches is what they advertise. I think that's what they advertise. We're going to measure them. But the weight on there is 725 grams. Calculate that, if you will. So this is just straightforward. I don't need these valve stems. Nothing like that. But this is what you're looking at. Just a good set. And I'm assuming these are to put on your rim to protect it from chipping or scratching. So you basically got 3 tire tools. These had good reviews. They feel sturdy. They feel beefy. That's a thick rod. So the spoon is pretty thick. It's as thick as the ones I use here in the shop. So I went with these because the spoon itself measures 11.5 inches. So the reason I did these, number one, I want to bring with them on trail. But when I put the tire on, I'm going to go ahead and use them when I put that tire on. I have tools here, but I'm going to use these just to have some familiarity with them so that if in the future I have to change a tube on the trail, I've already used these. I know, got some technique down, all that kind of stuff. And that's something that I would encourage. Always tent, set it up. If it's new, set it up before you go camping. Don't try to figure it out there. Tools, use them. Get some familiarity with them before you get out there. You don't want to learn out there on the trail. So anyway, got these. They come in a nice pouch. These will go in the bag or somewhere. I hadn't figured out my full packing arrangement yet. But these are packed down. And if we ever have to change a tube on the trail, we can now. So, all right, let's get this tent set up, see what it looks like. This thing's got tons of room. I won't have no problem. You could probably sleep too in here if you had to, but see y'all later. All right, well, there it is, guys. Took me that long to put it together without looking at the instructions, which that first little detail kind of got, if you could tell in the time lapse, I had to fight with it for a second, because what they want you to do is lay it out in an X, which I did. Then when you do the two standing up, that was the hard part, tie it together in the middle, and I didn't do that. Once you tie it together, it holds itself up, and it was fine then. But that was the part that I kind of skipped. So all in all, it took me 8 minutes to set up without looking at instructions for the very first time. So I figure in the future, I'll be able to do this thing probably easily in 5-6 minutes, have my tent up, throw my sleeping bag in it, and we're good to go. So what I went with this one, one of the big things for me on this one was that it uses these clips on the outside instead of the, you know how most tents, like all the tents that we have up top, they have the sleeve that the pole has to slide through and go all the way around. I absolutely hate those. I hate when you're sliding it through there, trying to get it through, and then you pull it on the other end, it disconnects the rod, that whole deal. So when I saw this one, which is the upgraded version, it was only like $3 or $4 more, weighed the same, but it had, I think, better waterproofing or something like that. But the main thing was the clips. When I saw that, I was like, that's the one I want. That's so much easier than trying to slide it through. So this thing is, yeah, I think it's going to work good. You can take the rain fly off if you want to. I'm not a big fan of camping out with the rain fly off. Keep away from fire, yada, 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 all that kind of good stuff. Tells you what not to do. There's all your specs that so far seem to be pretty straightforward. And yeah, other than putting stakes in the ground, it's ready to go. So yeah, now I'm gonna pack it back up now, and we'll see what we do next with it. All right, it actually packed up really easy, and got a handle on the bag. It's got these nice straps that you just pull and they tighten down. So that's really nice. But yeah, it fit back in there. Actually, I forgot my stakes, so I just kind of stuck them in there. We'll get it better, but yeah, pretty stoked on that, man. I think that's gonna pack well. It will probably go up here on the rack along with my sleeping bag. I still have my waterproof bigger bags here. So these bags will be these are the Roc Bros, as you can see. They're just a soft pannier bag that I will put back on the side, take my tusk off, and put it back on the side, and that will, I got other waterproof bags that we use kayaking and stuff like that will clothes, food, whatever. We'll just get it all packed down. But before I go do the 500, I'm going to be taking a camp trip just somewhere, DeSoto, Bienville, something like that, just to get out and go ride with everything that's going to be with me on the 500. Just take a trip with everything I'm going to bring and ride, camp, just to get a feel for the whole setup before I get all the way to Tennessee, Georgia, North Carolina, hours and hours, like 7 or 8 hours at the closest spot from here, and have an issue. So yeah, but anyway, I think it's going to work, guys. So whenever we change the tire, we will check out those tire tools. So stay tuned for that video. We'll see how those work. And other than that, man, thank y'all for watching. See you next week.